Despite the economic boom times, the Roaring '20s was a period of great tension between Americans. Social, racial, and moral beliefs were constantly being challenged. A fear of communism, socialism, and anarchy, fueled by a distrust of any foreigner, led to one of the most notorious convictions and executions in American history. Two Italian immigrants, shoemaker Nicola Sacco and fishmonger Bartolomeo Vanzetti, were accused of robbing and killing a factory paymaster and a guard. Sacco and Vanzetti admitted to being anarchists, people who want to abolish all forms of government, and being draft dodgers during World War I. However, both maintained they had not committed the crime. On the basis of circumstantial evidence, Sacco and Vanzetti were convicted and executed. Their guilt or innocence is still debated today. Guilty or not, the case personified the fear Americans had of immigrants. Some paranoid citizens felt immigrants took jobs rightfully belonging to American citizens. Others felt too many immigrants were political radicals. Between 1919 and 1921, the yearly number of new immigrants had shot up from 141,000 to 805,000. And Congress bowed to the pressure of Americans with nativist attitudes by passing a new law limiting immigration into the U.S. Additional restrictions were imposed 3 years later when the National Origins Act of 1924 further limited immigration. The acts discriminated against people from Eastern and Southern Europe, mostly Roman Catholics and Jews, and excluded the immigration of Japanese citizens altogether. The laws did not apply to immigrants from the Western Hemisphere, however, and approximately 1 million Canadians and 500,000 Mexicans crossed the borders into the U.S. The increasing popularity of nativism also stirred the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan, whose members had tormented and killed many African Americans in the South after the Civil War. The new Klan extended their bigotry to anyone not American, not Protestant, not white, while attempting to stamp out unions and saloons. By 1924, it boasted a membership of more than 4 million members. The imperial wizard of the KKK summed up the Klan's doctrine succinctly in his 1926 booklet, The Klan's Fight for Americanism, when he revealed the Klan's slogan, Native, White, Protestant, Supremacy. Although the KKK dominated certain state politics at times during the Roaring '20s, its popularity waned after Indiana Klan chieftain D.C. Steve Stevenson was indicted and jailed for a brutal assault on a female assistant. The resulting scandal and his conviction for second-degree murder signaled the decline of the Klan's political influence, and by the end of the decade, membership had dwindled to only 50,000. While the hateful Ku Klux Klan was growing in popularity, a peaceful separatist movement was gaining a large group of followers, Garveyism. Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican, founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association in 1914. He moved his organization to New York, and by the mid-1920s, there were more than 500,000 members. The association held two central beliefs. The first was that blacks should return to Africa and build a homeland of their own. Garvey had even designed a uniform for himself as the Provisional President of Africa. Second, Garvey insisted his followers should not envy or imitate whites or seek integration. Black is beautiful, he declared, and you are better than white people. Garvey started a successful newspaper and a steamship company to help raise funds for the cause. But the steamship company, the Black Star, failed. He was convicted of mail fraud and sent to prison. Only a handful of his followers actually returned to Africa, but Marcus Garvey's fundamental belief in the dignity and pride deserved by all African Americans certainly lives on.